Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Neil Details. So today I am going to go over a washings basics video. I'm going to do my best to keep it a reasonable length. But today, what we're going to do, because it is 99 degrees outside, as you can tell, full sun. So we are going to do a washing basics video, but with a twist. The twist is this is going to be a hybrid wash. So we're also going to go over wheels and tire cleaning. I'm not going to do fender wells on camera or the wheelbarrows. If you want to, obviously you can include that. But today I'm going to use all products from one brand. So far, none of these products have disappointed, and let's get into what lineup we're going to be using to clean this vehicle and show you guys how to do it. So a hybrid wash is a combination of using foam and rinseless. So for our foam, in our foam cannon, we're going to be using ARMOUR Detail Supply Shampoo Plus. For the rinseless aspect of cleaning, we are going to be using ADS Hero. For wheels and tires, we have tire cleaner, but since these wheels are maintained and they're not horrible, we're going to use it 4-to-1 straight out of the bottle that you get from ADS. It is going to be a 2-to-1 dilution. 4-to-1 for maintenance. That's what we're going with. Wheel cleaner for the wheels. Now, this vehicle hasn't been washed in about a month, so let's see if there's any reaction. We'll find out. I honestly don't know. Drying aid. ADS Amplify. And then the tire dressing. And now this is a product I haven't used before, so this is a first for me. Tire Plus. So real quick, that way we can get the vehicle moved out. I have left it in the garage just to keep the temperature down as much as possible. Makes it easier so you don't have to worry about chemicals flash drying on the surface. So for the wash bucket, we're going to start off with Amplify. Now, with a rinseless wash, you need 1/2 ounce to a gallon. I have a 3-gallon bucket with 3 gallons of water. So that means you are going to need 45 mils of your rinseless solution. We got 40. There we go. 45. Now, for the wheels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple squirt into the bucket. That should be more than enough. I still need to get my foam cannon ready, but I'll do that. I'm only going to put 15 ounces of water and then about 1.5 ounces of Shampoo Plus in there, and that's going to handle our pre-foam, which is going to break down the dirt and the grime on the surface. We're going to rinse it away, back it in the garage, and we're going to get right into the contact wash with a rinseless wash. Now, all of these products you can find on Car Supply's warehouse. So let's get into it and let's get this party popping. All right, so here we are on the wheels. Like I said, it's been about a month So we do have some stuff on there. Is it baked? No, but you know, see what we can do. So step one, and you actually have multiple steps you can do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-spray wheel cleaner on, and you're going to let it dwell. There we go. And next, we'll do tire cleaner. Now, I hope you can see it, but you can see all the red that's being dissolved. So all that red stuff, the purpling, that is brake dust on the wheel, and you can see it's changing colors. So for a detailer, very satisfying. While this dwells and breaks down the loose dirt and grime, I am going to get the fender liners or the fender wells and the tire. Now with fender wells, you can go as in depth as you so choose. You know, they just get dirty right after you wash anyway. All right, so I'm gonna add a little more tire cleaner. And then we're gonna get the handy dandy Detail Factory tire brush. We're gonna scrub. Now, with the wheel cleaner, you want to give it a couple minutes to work. As you can see, this wheel is bleeding like a stuck pig. Since I do keep up with this vehicle, probably would have been okay with the APC, but this was a good show. Now we're gonna rinse. A good rinse. Now, if you want to, you can do another layer. I'll do that because I can. Do a light spritz. Well, you know, that's my kind of light, so. And then I'm gonna dig out my wheel face brush. And you just go over it. Now, the beading on the wheel that you just saw is from a Burke Lotus coat that I applied a couple weeks ago. So fortunately, it's going strong. Now, I'm not going to do the barrels on camera, but I'm going to do it off camera. And now we rinse. Now, another thing you can do, if you so choose, you can get some of the brushes to do a more in-depth cleaning around the valve stem cap and your lug nuts. I decided not to do that today. And you know, if you want to do the barrels, you can do your barrels. I'm going to do that off camera. You're done. Your tire and your wheel are cleaned and ready to go. So I'm going to finish up the rest of the wheels and tires, and we will get back with the next step in the wash process. So catch you then. All right, wheels and tires are complete. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use Foam Plus in the foam cannon. We're going to foam down the whole vehicle. We're going to let it dwell and break down all the loose dirt and any grime on the surface, and it's going to pull it off. We're going to rinse it, back it into the garage, and then get into the contact wash with the contact wash phase. So let's see how well Foam Plus foams. I haven't used this product in quite some time, so it'll be new for both of us. All right, so it's foaming reasonable. I think it also could be my foam cannon, but what you're going to want to do is let the soap dwell as long as you possibly can before rinsing it off to give the soap time to work and do its job. So depending on your conditions, if you have even more sun beating down, if it's even hotter, you can either break it up into sections or just work quicker. But the sun's finally going down. It's over there. It's about to be blocked by the trees. So I'm thinking this is pretty good to get the grime off. So let me rinse it off and let's get going. Back it up. One more tip when you're pressure washing off your vehicle, just make sure you hold on to the other end of the hose so it's not slapping into the vehicle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop recording and we will reconvene in the garage after I'm finished rinsing off the soap. So I'll catch you. Let me get this all finished up. All right, so you are finished with your initial rinse. You are now ready for the contact wash of the hybrid wash. I have my fancy IK12 Pro sprayer here. Unfortunately, it does not have the air compressor fill up. But what you're gonna do now is you're gonna apply the rinseless to the surface. And you just need to get it on and work your way around the vehicle and get it on every bit. So I'm gonna go around, we'll speed this part up. Enough. Now, the beautiful thing about rinseless is that if it dries on the surface, it's only leaving a polymer spot. And those are not like water spots. You can easily reactivate it with more rinseless and dry it off of the surface. So I'm gonna wash the driver's side of the vehicle and the roof, and then I will go off camera and we'll be back for the drying. Now, today we're going to be using Armour Detail Supply VILLIAN, or what is it? The Nemesis sponge. The Nemesis sponge. Now, when you're doing a rinseless, you don't need pressure. You don't want pressure. Pressure is not your friend. It is, applying pressure is what can induce wash marring. Now let's pick up a little bit of gunk here, just like that. You see all the dirt? Let me get here real quick. You take it to your bucket, submerge it, squeeze it to the point of dripping, and just like that, it's clean. So that is one thing I really like about rinseless, is it really speeds up the process, and it is your it can be your drying aid as well, and we'll show that as well in this video. Yeah, no pressure, just go over your panels. You could get multiple panels in one shot because you are able to remove the grit from the surface. Now, let me grab a bunch of gunk from below and get this next section done. Don't forget your handles. Behind your handles as well. A dirty sponge. It'll dunk it in rinseless, and I'm not going to squeeze it out yet either. Look, that's saturation and moisture. Clean. Nice and clean. So, roof. There we go. Now this trim is all clean. Now I'm gonna finish up off camera so you're not watching it too long, but I'm gonna go over one thing real quick. If you were to drop your sponge on the ground, what I would do is just, dunk it in your rinseless and just work it really good, like massage it and just help with extra insurance to get any dirt that was possibly picked up, really more than likely picked up unless you're working in a extremely clean environment. Now, if you have two, you could absolutely just switch over to a new sponge. So that's that. That's going to be the contact wash. Let me finish up and let's get into the drying portion of the video. All right, so we are finished with the wash process. That took less than 10 minutes to go all the way around. So as I was stating previously, one of the great things about a rinseless wash, it is its own drying aid. There's plenty of polymers, surfactants. You got a polymer heavy, there's surfactant heavy, and then there's a mix, which is called a hybrid. So you don't need a drying aid, and I'm going to show you on the passenger side of the hood, but I'm going to do a drying aid anyway, and it's going to be AMPLIFY by ADS. So what I'm going to do, slowly bring it down. Now, with your drying towel, you should be able to do that. If your towel is starting to get clogged up and not absorbing properly, you can get a quality microfiber detergent and soak it for a couple days, a week, see if that brings it back. If it doesn't, I would just get a new drying towel. But now, to use a drying aid, here's what we're going to do. You don't need a lot. Don't forget to prime your trigger. Hold up. Give me a minute. I think I need a new trigger. This thing is not working. Let me, give me a couple seconds. All right, we're back. Sorry, that trigger died. So, light mist on the pan. Well, get it on the panel. Might adjust that spray a little more. And then you just take your drying towel. Another technique, fold it into fours to help reduce pressure points. Now, your drying aid is going to add slickness and possibly some protection. It just depends on what you want. Now, when I asked the guys at ADS whether or not AMPLIFY adds protection when on a wet surface, what I was told is no. This will enhance your water behavior and add gloss. Just like that. Now, because this has some SiO2 in it, what you're going to want to do to help save your towel, when you are finished, immediately soak it in your rinseless wash bucket. So, just like your mitt, when you're washing, no pressure. And now it is even slicker. So I'm going to finish the rest of the vehicle with drying, and when I get back, we'll go over tire dressing. So I'll catch you then. All right, so we are at the very end, the cherry on top, what just completes the detail. Now, obviously, if you are not a tire dressing person, you don't have to do it. You can just leave a nice clean tire. I enjoy tire dressing. So we have Tire Plus from ADS. Shake it well. I recommend shaking all of your products well. I have one of these Hex or Easy Grip, this style of applicator. Pop the top. We're going to load this up a little more than what I normally would because it's never been used fresh out of the package. Ooh. Now, another note, it's good to have a microfiber towel on hand to clean up any drips. So I'm going to take care of that in a little bit. And just go around the tire and evenly apply your tire dressing. Now, with your remaining tires, you're not going to need to put as much dressing on your applicator. There we go. Let's see. And you're going to want to let it sit and dry. With this one particularly, it just says fully dry. So let your tire dry, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, something like that. And you're good. And it's ready to go into the elements. You should get a couple weeks out of it. I believe this is water-based. So it's not going to be too difficult to remove on the next wash. So yeah, that's it with tire dressing. It's pretty easy and it just completes it. Now, one other thing, to get the bottom of the tire here that the vehicle would be sitting on, you have a couple avenues you can take. I personally went the fancy route. I got some RV leveling blocks to raise up the vehicle, but you could also do the same thing with some 2x4s, 2x6, whatever the case is, cut a little ramp type deal on there and you're good to go. The tire's off the ground and you can go all the way in one foul swoop and get it 100% dressed and ready to go. And then you just let it dry and then clean up any little potential spills. That's going to be it. I'll meet you all in the outro. Catch you in a little bit. Well, that's it. You're done. You have a nice, clean vehicle and you know how to do it safely and reduce the risk of putting scratches or marring into your vehicle. So what I would like to know is, what other tips do you have? What can you add onto this video to help someone who is new at taking care of their vehicle on detailing? What are some of your favorite products? Let me know in the comments below. So that is going to be a wrap for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a great weekend, week, whenever you're watching it. If you like this kind of content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and man, it's hot. Hit the bell icon. That way you are notified whenever I post a new video. I post every Friday at 6 a.m. So that's going to be a wraps. Have a great day. I will catch you all in the next video. See you on the next one.